You really never know what you're going to find out in the wild. Hi and welcome back to the shed. I'm Joe Bleeps and I'm a big fan of car boot sales. Now these are things we have in the UK every Sunday morning. People get up super early, drive their cars full of stuff to a field, set up a load of stalls, and people like me go and pick through them all and try and find the odd bargain. Times where you used to find all sorts of amazing things on the car boot sales, but with the advent of eBay, mobile internet and so on, trying to find things and get your hands on a bargain has become scarce. But occasionally you can get your hands on something unexpected and exciting, so it is still worth the search. Now I found this Anbernic RG351P on my local car boot sale last Sunday. It was totally unexpected. It's something I'd looked at buying in the past. I was like, okay, yeah, let's ask how much this is. £5. I couldn't believe it. They're like £100 new. I'd looked at them and decided maybe I couldn't justify the outlay. But for £5, yeah, it was worth a try. How did I get on with it? Well, take a look at the video. Okay, so I spotted this on a stall this morning at the car boot sale with a whole load of other cheap, nasty Chinese electronics. I was pretty much aware that the Anbernic RG351P was something that was a bit less cheap and nasty. I have actually looked into buying one of these in the past, but it was a little out of my price range to just buy on a whim. However, this morning I spotted this and the guy wanted £5 for it. I took the lid off, had a little look inside, and it looked okay. Didn't look to have barely been used really. It wouldn't power on. Well, I thought £5 is worth a punt. So I've brought it home. I have managed to charge it. It's got a USB-C charging port, so I had it plugged in for a little while, and when it was plugged in, the little light came on, which is good, because when I tried switching it on at first, I got nothing. When I tried pressing the power button, it just flashed that it was charging, but the screen came on and it was responding, so that was promising. I've taken it off charge to have a little look and do this video. Moment of truth, I suppose. So the power button's on the side. We'll have a bit more of a chat about the console itself when I know I can be officially excited about it. But yeah, let's see. So I'm assuming it's press and hold on the side. Little green lights come on and we've got the logo. It's a little bit dusty on the screen. Just brush that off a bit. Now, in the instructions that are with it as well, actually, it says that you should get a long buzz after you've switched on, which it just did there, which means that the firmware is okay. And here we are, it's all booted up. So we've got Nintendo DS, I'm assuming that will cycle through. Final Burn Neo, MAME, Wonderswan Color, Capcom Play System 1, 2, 3, MSX, PC Engine, Nintendo, Game Boy, Super Nintendo, Nintendo 64. The screen on this is gorgeous and there's not a mark on it. In fact, it actually came with a glass screen protector as well, and it's even got the wipes and things unused for that too. Let's just try loading up a game. So there's games in there too, because I was thinking I might have to do like a custom firmware and put things on a memory card. There's a little quality control sticker over what is the memory card slot there, so I'm assuming all of this is what's built into it from the off. But I'll do a little bit more reading and see if there's custom firmwares and other games and things. Here we are, Metroid Fusion, Metroid Zero Mission, and that will load. Let's see what the load times are like. I have no idea how to kind of reset it. Let's go back to the menu. But this is cool, right? How cool is that? £5? I have been going around the car boot sales for the last few weeks, and a lot of the times I'll walk around and I'll find nothing. Just the look at the drawer really. Occasionally you find things. I used to go around them all the time and I'd find all sorts of Nintendo consoles and pick up Game Boys and DS. But I think those days, well, I thought those days are gone, but you never know what you're going to find. Like, this is something that I would never have expected to find on a car boot. You wouldn't even find it in a shop. I would have had to order one of these online, but I've read about these Anbernic machines before. The form factor is nice. It's got like these little rubber pads on the back for when you put them down, or also for comfort when you're holding it. It's got a lot of face buttons, A, B, X, Y. It's got the analog sticks down here. It's got 2 shoulder buttons on each side, a headphone socket. I think there is a lot of fun that I can have with this. Now, is there a means of, maybe if I just tap the power button? What did that do? Or is that like a sleep mode thing? If I tap it again, does it come back? It does. Okay. Right, so let's have a little look at my instructions. This is cool. Like, not only did I find one of these for this price, but it was also like boxed. It's got like the little baggy that it came in. I mean, it was just sat on top of all this, but I'm assuming that that was over the top of this when it was in the box originally. There's like the little tray there. I mean, yeah, the box lid's got a little bit of damage on the corner, but I really don't mind. Can you tell I'm a bit excited to have found this? It was hard. I was having to reserve my excitement until I'd actually tested it and see if it works. After the system starts, if the software is correct, the motor vibrates, which it did. Yeah, it's got a vibrate function in there as well. That I hadn't even registered that, but yeah, it vibrates. Like my Switch Lite doesn't do that. PSP, NDS, MAME, arcade, press start and A to exit the game. L3, R3 calls out the menu. So if we click, oh, there we go. All right. So that puts us into a sub menu, close content. So we're just in the main menu at the moment, and then I can quit RetroArch there. And now we're back where we were with the games. So we've got Sega Genesis, Game Gear, Mega Drive, even Dreamcast. It's got Ikaruga on it. Oh my gosh. Neo Geo Pocket, PlayStation. This is... it's got to be my find of the season this year. I am absolutely made up with this. How can it run a Dreamcast game? Sonic Adventure's on there, Crazy Taxi 2. Like it can't, can it? A little cheap handheld running Dreamcast games. Just bizarre. Do you know what? Something else worth noting is that it feels quality. Like there's a decent amount of heft to it. When you press the buttons, they feel nice and firm. Just, it feels like a really nice quality machine. There were a couple of others and I'm thinking like, should I have bought those? The other things that were on the stall. But I knew what this was. The other two, they did look like cheap knockoffs, but I knew that this was something a bit more legit. So if you're unfamiliar with it, Ikaruga is like a top-down scrolling shooter where you've got like a color coding system. So like I'm just shooting white, but my white power will defeat the black enemies more easily, but then I can switch and absorb more power from building up combos and things like this. But I mean, being able to play it on a handheld, this... Alright, I'm gonna stop now, but yeah, I just thought it might be quite a fun little video to show you what I've got. What I am going to do now is I'll go away, I'll do a bit more investigating, look at the possibilities of custom firmwares, of other upgrades, of what I can do with the SD card and so on. But for now, I mean, even just as is, this is just, what a find. What a great start to my Sunday. So, it's 1 week on, and have I had my money's worth out of this? Yes, absolutely. It's been brilliant. Now, it is worth noting that, as you saw when I first opened it up, this thing is absolutely fine out of the box. But if you know me, you will know that I am never going to leave anything alone for very long if there's something I can do to interfere with it. And this little console is amazing for, well, interfering with. Let's just fire it up. I have put a new SD card in there. So you can see it's got this Anbernic firmware on it now. So this has now got a custom firmware instead of the standard. Let's just give that screen a little bit of polish. So for someone who, like me, can't leave something alone, this thing is an absolute dream. Not only can you install more games on a separate SD card, but you can also do all sorts of updates actually with the console itself. In the box, there was also this Wi-Fi adapter and this little USB adapter so that you can plug it into the USB-C that's on top of the console. And what that does is means you can connect it to your Wi-Fi, and there's a whole load of things that you can do with the console just simply by being on the main screen, pressing the start menu, and there's a whole host of things that you can do. I've had fun with the scrapers, which means that you can go online and it just searches for the artwork for the games that you've got. So for example, now if I go into Sega Master System, I've got like little screenshots of all of my games in there. On some of them, like the Neo Geo Pocket Color, there's the little video bits playing. Let's turn it down. And the box art, each time to the box art then changes to the videos. I mean, there's a whole host of things that you can do. You can change the whole themes. So there's just like one standard theme on it, but then you can import some more and you can do all those settings as well. But in terms of playing on it, there's just so many different things and there's a whole load of customization options with it. So yeah, it's been brilliant. And in terms of running the games on it, they're all running really well too. But I mean, this is always the way with me. I will spend far more time tinkering about and updating and tweaking and adding ROMs, and I actually enjoy all of that side of things, so I will spend more time doing all that than probably I will end up playing all of the games. But I loaded up Super Mario Land the other day on it, and you know, you can never really have a quick go on that, so I ended up playing the whole game through, and yeah, it's comfortable, The ergonomics of it are good. It's got like nice little touches like the little rubberized bits at the back, which are good for when you're just placing it down on a surface, but also quite comfortable to hold. I upgraded the SD card. It actually came with a 64GB card inside. Now, most of what I read said that these are unreliable at best, so I didn't want to use that as my standard one. Plus, I wanted to expand a little bit and put more games on. Normally, I get the SanDisk cards, but this time I got an Amazon Basics card. I figured maybe I'd be less likely to get stung by having a fake card, because sometimes I've had the SanDisk ones and they've been great, but sometimes they've clearly not been legit, even when you bought them from Amazon, and the speeds are not great. This has been great in terms of transferring the files. Also, compared to the SanDisk one, they're easy to open, which if you've had the SanDisk cards you will know is definitely a bonus. Comes with a little SD card adapter. The micro SD one is now in there. It's actually really difficult to get these in and out, but it means it's never going to pop out by accident. So yeah, that is my find of the year. We are currently in July. If I find anything better than that for a better price, then it has definitely been a good year. So over the last few weeks on the car boot sale, I've picked up some cool things. I found a nice Sony Walkman. I found like a cool retro Philips boombox, which is awesome. I got a Nintendo Wii for £5 with controllers and a couple of games and everything, so that was a pretty good find. But this is something that I just would never have expected to find on a car boot sale. So yeah, it's cool having the logos and the pictures and everything else on all of the menus, and then when you go into them, you've got all the little artworks and the names and the little rundown of information. And there's so much customization, you know, within that menu. There is so much that you can do. Now, of course, this is not going to be a tutorial video. I didn't want to bore you with me going through pages and pages of computer screens trying to figure out what to do. It was definitely a fumble through, and there are definitely good videos out there, which I will link in the description in terms of what you can do to update, customize, add ROMs and so on with these. But really, it's not even that. It's not even a review. It's just a celebration of finding things in the wild and never stopping searching, because you never really know what you're going to find. So I think you can probably tell that I was excited to find this, and it's nice because sometimes you find things and you're super excited and then you get these home and they're not quite what you expected, or you can't get them working or anything like that. But this one just brought it home, put it on charge, and it was working fine. As I said before, this video isn't really a review of the Anbernic RG351. Even though these are awesome and I would recommend them. It's not a tutorial on how to set one up. There are loads of things you can do with it, and I'll put some links in the description with some guides on how to set these things up, how to customize them, how to add the ROMs and so on. There's loads of good stuff, loads of good guides out there. Seems to be a really active scene in terms of modding them. So as you can tell, I was pretty excited to get my hands on this. I was amazed to have actually found it on a car boot sale of all places. And it just goes to show that, you know, there are still some gems to be found out there in the wild. You know, when these things are less frequent, it's all the more exciting when you come across them. Yeah, it's one of those things that if you are into wherever you are, there's different ways of doing these things. So whether it's flea markets, attic sales, garage sales, house clear outs, charity shops, secondhand game shops who maybe missed a trick. In CEX, I picked up a white Nintendo Game Boy a couple of years ago that they had priced up as the same price as their regular Game Boys, and it was boxed, so that was pretty cool. So, you know, just keep an eye out for these things, and you never know what you might find. But it's all about the thrill of the chase. Occasionally you'll get those moments, but it's just fun searching and hunting and, you know, occasionally finding something pretty awesome. If you've ever had any amazing finds yourself in the past, why not let us know in the comments? I'd love to hear what you've got your hands on for very little or in a very unexpected place. So yeah, let's keep that chat going. In the meantime, I hope you enjoyed it. Subscribe for more like this if you want to see more. Leave a like if you liked it. Comment if you want to chat. And I will see you in the next video. Thank you and bye-bye.